Non, je ne suis pas obsédée.
The French actress Brigitte Bardot is an icon of the 1950s and 60s era, and her bombshell look continues to be an inspiration even today. Her signature was warm colors, thick lashes, an elongated eyeliner, and a caramel-toned pouty mouth. So I really hope you enjoy my take on Bardot's look. So we are really going to be translating those warm colors also on the eyes. So I'm starting off with a very light shade, but still a warm shade of a very light brown, and just applying that all over my lids and just blending that out. To highlight underneath my brows, I'm using a matte shade also that's about the same color as my skin tone, and just blending that together with the lighter brown color. Now in the crease, I'm going to use a slightly darker shade of brown here. It's still in that warm color family, and I'm using a blending brush just to blend that right into my crease, and I'm kind of holding my brush at an angle so that I can get most of the color payoff onto the socket bone, and that is going to make your eye look a lot more defined and is really going to give that sultry look, very reminiscent of Bardot. And I'm also using a slightly angled brush here just to connect that to the outer V, like the outer part of my eye. And I'm using that same matte brown eyeshadow just on my lower lash line. Bardot often wore a very thick, very elongated cat wing eyeliner, so I'm going to use a black gel eyeliner to do this. And this eyeliner is all going to be a lot thicker than I would normally do it. This is going to be very reminiscent of that 1960s, 1950s era. This is very typical of how they wore the eyeliner back then. So I'm using an artist brush to do this, and just really making a nice, long, elongated shape there, very full, very thick, just a beautiful eyeliner shape. And on the lower lash line and also on the tight line, on the waterline, I'm going to use a very dark brown kohl pencil, and I'm just going to rim my eyes with that so that your eyes are really going to stand out. And this is also very typical of what Bardot wore. She often had sort of a very dark color, either dark brown or black, like all around her eye. I'm going to use a pencil brush and just feather that out on the lower lash line. And Bardot often wore these very, very luscious, very thick eyelashes. So I am going to be using these ones by Red Cherry, and I'm using just a little bit of lash glue to glue those on very close to my natural lashes, and just making sure that it's going to stay on that black line that I drew earlier. For the cheeks, you want to choose a very warm colored blush, so nothing like too pink or apricot or anything like that. She had this very neutral colored blush often in her pictures. So again, you want to choose matte shades here. This is really typical of that era, because back then there weren't really a lot of products that had that, you know, dewy finish. So really try to opt for matte products here. So now it's time to get those full and pouty lips, and I am going to be using a nude colored lip liner. And the first thing I'm going to do is kind of fill in the natural shape of my lips, and I'm going just ever so slightly outside my natural lip line just to make my lips look a little bit fuller. Then I'm just taking a slightly darker lip pencil, almost like in a caramel shade, and I'm just going to trace around the outline of my lips again, just to kind of define my lips a little bit more so that you get a little bit more of a contrast there. En avant, en avant. Finally, you want to finish up with a nude lipstick. I would skip gloss altogether because that wasn't really what she was wearing in most of the pictures. It was mostly just lipstick, just for a beautiful pouty, but almost like a matte finish on the lips. Et voilà, c'est fini. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this look, and let me know if you try it out. If you do, I would love to see pictures of it on my Facebook page. I love seeing those. And if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you left me a comment down below, and make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Love seeing that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.
Comme une victoire, j'ai froid,